Welcome to TradingLounge and the US indices for Monday, August the 2nd. Welcome to August. Alrighty, this is the weekly chart here. I was doing a bit of reading with Goldman Sachs and a few of the other big boys in town, and they think the economy's shaping up pretty sort of nicely. So that was sort of interesting to hear. In terms of the patterns and Elliott wave and so on here, I'm still would like to see this wave 3 here be longer than this wave 1 here. So that's really my objective. If that happens or not, it's not the end of the world. We sometimes see wave 3 shorter, but that just means that wave 5 will be shorter than wave 3. So yeah, it's tackling the top line of the trend line here. It's not like it's sinking on the bottom trend line and struggling, is it? So the next main number we've got to the upside here is 4,500. So yeah, that's really about it, really. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we'll go in and take a closer look at this. So on the, well, it's just a 2-day chart. Nothing special about that, by the way. Now, as I mentioned before, there's a possibility that I've got the count like this, but there's also a possibility that we can end here with this last 5 waves here for this one here. So we just need to be aware of that, but otherwise we'll see another little move to the upside here for that. So yeah, we are from wave 4 to wave 5 here. We've got blue wave 1 and 2 and going up for blue wave 3 here, and between blue wave 2 and blue wave 3 here we've got 1 and 2 in green and 3, 4, 5. So we're in this cycle here of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're also in between green wave 2 and green wave 3 here. And the good news is that in terms of the trading levels, we've got 4,000, which is a medium level, and then 100, 200, and 300, which are minor levels, and they make up group 1. And we've got, well, so far we've got support on that level there. So that really pulls us away from being pulled back to this number here. So we're definitely looking to the upside, and as I mentioned, the 4,500 rather, is the next main level that we'll be looking at. But in the meantime, we're sticking to the 400 here. So we should find support on that shortly and push higher for that. So let's just move into, where were we with all of this? Let me just check. Okay, so going to the intraday now. I think we were here. Rightio. So just to squash this back up a little bit, wave 2 and 2 and 2 here. So we'd counted 5 waves up here. Now what's sort of bothering me here a little bit is that we've actually got an expanded flat correction here, which you don't normally see in wave 2s. Well, it's not really expanded flat, it's just the fact that the B wave is taken at the top. This is definitely in 3 waves here, so it's taken out the top here, and that means that we would need to now bring this over to here. Okay, but I also just want to point out too is that we haven't pulled back to our 50-60% retracement level where this wave 1 and 2 did, so that kind of leaves that exposed a little bit at that point. So we'll need to, and Friday didn't close strong. I mean, when I say strong, it didn't close above, I mean, it's still, what did it, yeah, it closed up 0.38%. So, but that's not strong. So we just need to be careful. There's 2 things that sort of haunt me here is that we could possibly come down to this level here. We could actually come, I don't think it's the case, but I just want you to be aware, and if it does, then you'll know what's what. So we'd bid, if it came down to this level here, then we'd look at this as the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave down here. So we'd be counting 5 waves down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then pushing up from that point. Okay, so we really want to get support on 4.4. I think that we're okay. Let's just go to, just going to go to my 10 tick chart, which is not on the other chart here. So this is this whole top sort of area here. And yeah, the point was that do we have this down as 1 and 2 here? Let's just label this here a little bit. So wave 1 here and 2 here for this, and then coming down, we've got wave 3 over here, and then 4 and 5. So that's really quite possible. So what we need to do is just we just need to look at, first of all, this length here, and that's at the 61.8%. So that means that if we see a move above that, then that would be a safe trade to the upside at that point. Okay, so then we could look at that as being wave 1 and back for wave 2 here. You know, this is the same. It's the same. We can look at that as wave 1 and back for wave 2 over here. So it's a little bit of a. We'll just see. I'll just just see which way it comes out the gate, so to speak. You know. I mean, from these lows here, or even this one, we could get 1 and 2 here and 3 here with an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here, and then up for wave 5. But I know at the same token, we could look at this as an A, B, C here for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, getting a bit more equality in terms of the relationship between the length of structures. But this one over here, this looks a little bit corrective to me because we've got this little 5-wave structure down here. So that's like wave 1, so to speak. But then we've got sort of all of, and this is the other side to it over here. So if you grouped all this together as the correction here, then that would be finished at that point. So realistically, all we'd need to do to be positive really is to go above this level. Because even if that was like an A and a B and a C finishing here and then coming down again, we don't have 5 waves from here to here. So yeah, I think that we got this would tell me that we're going up at this point. So yeah, the only thing that sort of threw me is to get an well, it's not really an expanded flag, just to see the B wave go above wave this structure here. Yeah, so that's, you don't really see that often like this in wave 1s and 2s. So by looking at this, by looking at this here, there's just an equal chance of it being finished here or coming down further. Looking at this here is telling me that we'll be going up from that point. Also too, in the slightly bigger picture, when we look at this pattern here, we have to remember that this is a corrective pattern here, so that makes all of this corrective. And in fact, this one here was in 3 waves, so that's corrective as well. So what I'm saying here is that this is corrective, and we will be going higher. There is a slight possibility we could come down here in 5 waves of 1 and 2 and 3. I don't think it is the case, but yeah, no, the weight is, now that I'm looking at it, is more to the upside. So you want to be building in on 10, 20 and 30 here, and the 30 here is critical because getting a tested support on top of 30, as you know and I bore you to death with, it will separate the market being pulled by the closest largest number, in this case 400, and it will start to look at 450 there. So this number 5 being the second strongest in the market, I don't know if we're going to stop there much either. I mean, normally we would, but because we are if this is correct, of course, if we're in the third of the third of the third, then we should sort of blast straight through here for this. So we'll see. But yeah, anyway, it looks like we're going to gain support on 400. You'll be moving in through 10, 20 and 30. If you can recognize that we've got a classic trading levels pattern sitting at 30, something like this, then you know that we're going to be pushing up to the 50 at that point, and that means that we're on our way at that point. Okay, so a good start to the week, so to speak. Yeah, so that's where that is. Okay, nothing really I can add to that. It'll only be waffle, and I've got to watch my waffling, so I'll leave that. This is this is the Russell 2000. It's just an hourly chart, and it's just pricking it up from wave 4. I had this in green last time we spoke. I've lifted it up one level to blue, just to be a little bit conservative, and yeah, it can pull back to the 2-2 here, but it's probably done and dusted here, and we'll see this move up through here. It is possible, by the way, that we can look at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, and come further down at that point. But if the S&P is going to push up, you would think that this is going to push up as well. But just to let you know, so the safe trade, once we get above this little top here, then we could put that in green. I know that we've had these in green before as well. I do lots of green lines because some people get in and some people don't. Do you know what I mean? So I just keep, and I can't keep too many objects on the chart as well. So, which means I can remove that and that. I'll leave that there for the time being. So yeah, that's all looking quite good. So taking out that top there would confirm that we've moved past this as an A and a B and a C. So that's just looking at the other side of the coin. So all good at that point. So look for that. That will be, that's what you want at that point. And the NASDAQ here. So, yeah, we're looking for 5 waves from wave 4 here to wave 5 here of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and having that wave 3 here. So just coming back to the S&P 500 for a moment, this would mean that this is one of the reasons that would put like wave 3 here, because after these 5 waves, it could be finished at that point. So it's something I need to resolve. That's where part of that comes from. I think I've mentioned that before, so apologies about that. But yeah, so basically the 1 and the 2 and the 3 here, and the 4 and the 5, wherever that takes us up into that space. I suppose it just guess how you count this. I know that I can look at this as 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and squash that in there a little bit. But yeah, I'd always take the conservative view, because that would take the market one step higher in line with the S&P that I've got going one leg higher as well. So yeah, but in the meantime, we don't have to sort of concern ourselves with this too much. We should be pushing up. What we're looking for, and we're hoping to find on the Friday but didn't, is support on the 15,000, which is the medium level here. So let's go in and have a look at this. So I think okay, so yeah, here we go. So we've got wave 4 to wave 5, we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and then we're looking for wave 1 and 2 in here, which probably is not the case anymore. It could be. I really need to resolve that, but I think that we may also need to look at this because of what's happened on the S&P, and put that over here for that. Okay, so this now makes an A and a B and a C wave here for that. So it looks a little bit like that here. Not that it's a big difference, but it, you know, not having that Friday strength sort of threw me out a little bit. Still, I mean, I still can see that we can get 5 waves in this move here, but probably not a great 5 waves in this move up through here, or from this low here. It gets a little bit dodgy in there. But look, just it's a bit of a rinse and a repeat here of what I would have said on the Friday. We really want that support on the 15,000, and we just need to be careful this doesn't slip away as well here, as you know, into this space down here. We're a little bit closer to, I mean, it's already sort of touched down in here, so we'll see. if we get a classic trading levels pattern sitting on the 15,000, then you can go long from that point. So you'd still need to wait for the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the correction, and that. This is a big picture, of course, but you want to see a smaller version of that just tucked in. Could be even like this. Do you know what I mean? That just taking that top out here in this case, I mean, we were already, this is the end of the structure, this is the beginning. So having something like that, and then there'll be different sort of things of it. You just need to, you end up getting it a little bit late most of the time, but just keep working on it. So we want that support. Getting support there obviously is step one, and it looks like we've got wave 1 and 2 here and 3 up here, which we could count as an ABC, and we could come down from that point there as well. So we just need, that's why you wait for support. That's what I'm trying to say. Alrighty, well, they're the indices. This is just Australian stock. So we need to go to US stocks, which is this one here to start with. This is Amazon on the daily chart, and it did drop quite quickly here. So I'm still looking at, I mean, whichever way I look at this, say, out of this correction here, we've got 1 and 2, and it'll be just natural to have this as 1 and 2 here as well. Unless it's a B wave, unless we take all of this as an A wave and a B wave up here. Just thinking outside the box a little bit rough at that point. But yeah, it never really resolved itself properly. But I'm going to stay with this 1 and 2 here for the time being as an A wave and a B wave and a C wave. So I want this to play out here. Yeah, so we'll just go to the tick chart and pick this up a little bit. So what we do know is that this would be the A wave, this would be the B wave, and this would be the C wave down here. So we've got 1 and 2 here. Because this has moved quite quickly here, I'm wondering if this is actually 1 and 2 in here, and then the third wave here, a fourth wave and a fifth wave, just for the third wave. Just for that to finish. You know what I mean? So that, bear with me for a second, get these out of the way, a bit squashy. So I'm wondering if we've even had our, I mean, it's quite possible that it's all wrapped up in here, and that's there and that's there. That would be the logical thing, and then we come down through to here. But I'll just copy that and put that over there as well. We don't need these 1s and 2s just yet. They can stay over there, out of the way. So yeah, we have to resolve this first. I mean, it was just, it was sharp that it came down. It's still at the 61.8%. So we'll just see how, the thing with these sorts of problems, you just have to time the answers in the calendar, so to speak. Just give it some time and allow it to play out a little bit. Because the more that it matures, the more that you see. That would all have to be sort of in there for that. So even if we just took that here, see, it can still come up further here too, up to the 38.2%. I mean, if you're a stock trader, if you're just buying this as stock and without leverage and all the rest of it, then buying it probably anywhere down here in small increments wouldn't be such a bad idea, because we know the lows coming in at this point. What would happen though if we, the frightening thing here is that if this was wave 1 and 2 here, and it looks like a nice third wave here, and then we have a fourth wave and we have a fifth wave, so we could get caught in something like that. But even if we had 5 waves down, we'll have an ABC back up, so you should be able to get out again at break even. It will just take a little bit of time. So any bets that you put on here would need to be reasonably small at this time until we've got support on 34.30, I would imagine. Okay, so Tesla. So yeah, I thought it was going to pop down, but it didn't, but that's okay. So yeah, we can just look at it continuing to move up through here. I bought some in here myself, not a lot, but Yeah, so I'll just see how this plays out with this. I kind of want to work my money in this one a little bit. I just don't want to leave it, so I may just get out here and it doesn't allow this to occur. I don't know if I'll short it or not. Maybe if the third wave opens up in the C wave, I may. I just want to build this account, so I can get some solar power or batteries or a car out of it or something or other. We'll see what comes. I'll use Elon's first principles method on his stock. So yeah, look, far as I can see, we'll go into the intraday shortly on this later in the week, but we're basically looking for 5 waves from B to C here, and this is our 61.8% at that point. So let's see what it looks like when it gets to that point. Facebook. Okay, so with Facebook, here we're looking at, well, I'll still just stay where we are here because there is a nice 5-wave structure up into this point. So that must mean that we've got, well, unless I spoke before, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but that would be a little bit short. So we'll just stay with this as being wave 1 and 2 here. It hasn't really done sort of any damage. The markets weren't that strong on Friday, so we'll just see how they pick up on the Monday here. But I'm still bullish with this, so I'm just going to stay where we are with this. We expect that to push up this week, and Square. So yeah, so it looks like we've got, well, from this point here, we can look at this as well. Probably, well, that brings up another point. No, that's sort of overlapping that a little bit. We'll just stay with this. I mean, you know, this has all been a real process because we've got one position here, one position above the one below and one above the level, and when this pushes up here, you know that it's just naturally pushes back. So this would be the classic trading levels pattern here, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC pattern. So we may need to bring that over here if that's going to that may give us a little 5-wave structure down here for that. And then push up from that point. And you can also look between this low and that high there for the 61.8% retracement level there for that. So I don't have any problems with this at all, even though I didn't get it accurately correct. But yeah, it's all, to me, this is all fine here for this stage. The only other thing I was thinking is as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, but wave 4's come down really quite low here for this. The other count here, of course, 2 that I've mentioned before, is having this wave 1 sitting over here. That count fits as well. So I'll need to do some work on that. I'll just double check that, and I'll just write that. Just write that down, just so I have a bit of a, put it on my checklist. That's all good. And Apple's next, so not a lot of change here for this. I still feel that, look, we haven't pulled back to the 38.2%, so it can pull down here. Look, it may just push straight up, but just be mindful that we may just get 5 waves down from this point here into the 139 area there for that. But like I've said this before, it didn't matter if we were here. This is going to take a lot of time to get on this level, to get further up there. So if you want to put your money somewhere else, then that's not such a bad idea. And the last one is Alphabet, and so yeah, we're looking at this as wave 3 here for with wave 3 and wave 4 here, and then wave 1 and 2 here. For this, that's the box for wave 2, so we should see some sort of ABC into this here before moving up. If it moves below the level here, then I'll have to look at it as wave 3 top sitting in there. But either way, we're not finished to the upside here yet with this trend, so everything is fine. I would stay bullish in this while we're in group 2 here, 65, 72 and 80 here, just using the last numbers for all of this, 720, 2720 and 2650 there. So we're in group 2, so the market should just stay in that space. But we always expect some sort of correction in this area, and normally the number 8 up here is the main number here, so we call 8 a profit taking number. So we may get to 3,000 at the end of the day. We'll just see how it pushes along. But having this trend here and this here, it's probably enough excitement for Google for a month, because it normally runs quite tightly. So we'll see it come back into that tight trend as well within that space. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.